like I think that we just always want to get that on record. Like his story that you shared with us before.
Your come up.
Yeah, you're exactly.
That we won't get to your come up. You know what I'm saying? You living out of a car, and you grinding, saving your money.
I still got a picture of that van.
You know what I'm saying?
I still got the van.
Still got the van. Did you drive it?
No, I have a.
I know.
So you know, I had the Audi.
Yeah.
I just sold that. You know, took that money, put it in Bitcoin.
For sure.
And it's those types of decisions. It's like I live on the west side. It's like people look at you weird. You ain't driving a $100,000 Range Rover. I'm like, look, I got a $4,000 all electric car. Don't know shit about me. You know, I'm like, think what you want, but I'm gonna keep driving this because I realize that $25,000 that I just sold this stupid car that's losing me money.
Right, because
I don't put that in something that's gonna make me money. I mean, they say what in the next 5-10 years, one Bitcoin will be $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta put in 25,000 and let that become $500,000, and that makes so much sense to me. And to think, you can work a job, right? Put in IRA, retirement fund, 30 years. Most people won't even have $250,000, and it's like Jesus Christ. And you got by this time you're married, you got 3 kids, one mortgage. You know,
you got diversified.
You have to. But it come down to them hard decisions.
Yeah, and you as a trainer, man. That's one thing I admire about you. You became a trainer, then you evolved from training. So you ain't leave it at training. You evolve, and that's what a lot of people get stuck at. They think they have to do this one thing and do it forever.
No, and that's the thing about the purpose. Because if you like, you know, if you're somebody that believes in destiny and purpose and all this stuff, you will realize that whoever created you is obviously the most creative being person that there ever is, and obviously God, creator, universe, however you want to turn it, is not linear.
Absolutely.
And we look at everybody in here got their own different abilities and interests and talents, and I'm like, figure out what sets you on fire, figure out what makes you nuclear, go with that, and start with that. So for me, like I was telling you, standing outside, every job I ever worked, where I was sacking groceries, selling shoes, paper route, landscape, whatever, post office, I'm always snaking, trying to figure out, okay, what can I soak out of this thing so that I can get to the next thing. And that's exactly what I do with the military.
You're a silent assassin. That's why I called you, man.
Exactly.
Because you work quiet. And that's what a lot of big entrepreneurs do. They work quiet. They don't talk about their money. They don't say nothing about their success. They just pop up all of a sudden.
Just pop up.
Just pop up.
Just pop up, man. And that's, so I see training for what it is. It's like, okay, but at the end of the day, I'm trading my time for money. And you're also people's therapist. So you're carrying this energy with you. At 4 in the morning, when you first get a training session, at 8 at night, you go to sleep, you got to do it over again. You're tired.
You got to pour out constantly, right?
You got to pour out. And so it's like, okay, I don't really technically have control over my schedule because I am the servant to those that I serve.
Right.
And if I stop doing this thing, that means my money going to stop. So I say, okay, what's something that's going to make me wealthy, whereby I have complete control over my schedule, I can keep growing my income. I can share this knowledge with other people to make them rich. Real estate, and it's surefire. If a crash came right now, I'm Gucci. What's that? Stock market crash.
You know how to cut this off, right?
Oh, we done?
No, y'all.
Oh.
You know how to cut everything off, right?
No, I know how to power it off.
Just click end video.
Okay. I'll do that.
I interrupted, so I ain't gonna stay. I'm gonna go out of town.
Okay. That's the key. Okay.
I
got you.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate it, Phil, man. Yeah.
But stock market crash, you lose your job.
Yeah.
You still got that property that you can make money off of if you engineer it correctly.
Yeah.
And so properties that I don't just put tenants in there. I prefer to use a short-term rental model because you're making a lot more money doing it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
And then the scalability is a lot faster.
So short-term, what is that?
Verbos, Airbnbs, things like that.
Yeah, and you're in a great area too, man. Far as investment.
Right here by the stadium. I got, just bought my neighbor's property, so now I got a 6-plex.
That's what's up.
So, now, once the other ones are fully, that's $40,000 a month right there.
Yeah.
And then you take that money and you scale it up.
Yeah.
You can get to $100,000 a month really fast.
Oh yeah,
you know,
real estate, yes.
But again, it's always gonna come back to those hard decisions and the sacrifices, and that's gonna be there with every level you go up. And it's like, how bad do you want the next level?
Yeah, and what you think? What's wrong with our community today, as far as making sacrifices and scares to go to that next step?
We want everything right now.
Yeah,
and then I also think that a part of it is tied to just like our primordial side, meaning that we got, as guys, we want women. How you get women? You
gotta
wear a nice little chain, look like you have abundance,
right?
To get them in, you know, right, and things like that. But
I mean, I mean, what holds a lot of us back too is like, because like there's no one in our circle that's immediate that we don't choose, technically, that we didn't have power over putting in our space. That's shedding that information. And you know, you might see it around, like it's like watching sports. You know that, you know, some of the best athletes play this particular sport, but you don't know how they got there. Right. But you enjoy watching it.
Exactly.
And you can like vicariously like live through them when you go play pickup, or you can emulate some behaviors that they have when you go play pickup, but you're not doing the work to get that good. Because of maybe you weren't tall enough, or maybe whatever. But if you do find, like what you say, like what makes you nuclear, for me is like what gives you the fire, or whatever your passion is, that in like the purpose as well. Like if you find that, then there are no shortcuts. You know. That's why I like connecting it to fitness, because there are no shortcuts to it. There's shortcuts to money, for sure.
Oh yes.
I found a lot of shortcuts to money in my life. You know what I'm saying? But and there are shortcuts in relationships. You can move fast or as slow as you want, as long as y'all both agree to it, right? You can be like, oh, I've known this girl for 6 months, I'm gonna get married, or you know, or I've been dating for 10 years and I'm never getting her, whatever it is. But when you're talking about working on like a purpose and gaining yourself, like and doing well at something, there just aren't any shortcuts, man. And you just got to do it one step at a time. You got to wake up and do it, and you got to do it, and it has to be beyond the money part of it.
And I think sometimes to hear what you really want to do, you got to do what you don't want to do.
Exactly.
Meaning that even now in this position, I find myself sometimes getting on looking for a regular W-2 job. And I'm saying to myself, I don't give a fuck, because if I go to this job and they want to pay me $70,000 a year, that's $70,000 a year more I didn't have that I can leverage to get more property to make me $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 more.
That's exactly why I have a job.
You know, but you know,
I hear you, man.
Facts.
I don't know. It's in our community, we need to be teaching this stuff to kids at a young age.
Absolutely.
Like I love jumping on Instagram and seeing the guys that got the kids in the back seat. What's the credit score? You hear a little 4-year-old, Daddy, credit score is number between 500 and 850. I'm like, damn, man, we need that.
We've had it. We've had it. It hasn't been popularized because it goes to media that, again, like they're using us for like they can't get enough of us in a certain light. Empress mentioned poverty porn, and like now we're talking about like this violence porn almost.
Then you got,
because in the 60s there were schools, like I shared this video, I might have shared it with you, the Bill Cosby documentary.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where there's a school in Philadelphia where there's a school where they're teaching these kids to be self-actualized, and how to say no, and how to stand up for themselves, and what, you know, trade is, what to find what they're really good at, for them to try different things. And so I think that we just have to continue to push that wheel and shed the light, just like you're shedding the light. And I think, you know, we're just gonna have to see it happen. It's just not being the brightest. The people with the loudest voices are just not saying it. And the majority of those are white folks that are just like, no, we're afraid. Like we need to still pit these white folks and black folks against each other. Like the government, like I love Charles Barkley for comic appeal, but he said something really, really, I think you shared it with me, or maybe it was a friend of mine shared with me. He said, I think these politicians really just want like black and white folks to it's divide and conquer. Like, you know, it seems like they're just, you know, really just using us against each other so they can maintain their power or order.
Did you hear they trying to make DC the 51st state?
That's crazy.
Crazy. This just came out like yesterday.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. But it's definitely a power play.
It's somewhere. I know, and that's the thing. That's something that we should know. I feel like I should know what that means.
It went right under the rug.
And they, you know, even on the ballot for California, but nobody went for it. They were trying to separate it into four states. Yeah. You could have voted to have Southern California, regular California, Northern California, and then coastal California. In 2016, it was on the ballot, and I was like, what?
Wow.
Nobody voted for it, obviously, but people could have been like, okay, if they would have popularized it, like, yeah, it would make so much sense to have a coastal California and a regular California, whatever.
But I definitely agree with you as far as the kids. We need to enlighten our kids and educate our kids more. One drug as far as kids and not getting educated is TV.
Kids watch TV though.
No, not anymore.
They on social.
And social media. It's social media.
Yeah.
I mean that's it too. You know what I'm saying? I mean they want to be these entertainers, these people, you know, that got all the flashy shit.
Shamath,
you know what I'm saying?
The guy who was with Mark Zuckerberg when they started Facebook.
Oh yeah,
billionaire. He don't even let his kids watch TV.
Yeah,
you know,
he don't even have one in his house. I'm like, those are little clues. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who was in Silicon Valley, you know, so they know the studies behind
what this is.
Yeah. So I won't, you know, if I have kids or you're not watching TV, there's no TV. Pick up a book, go outside, you know.
And especially with the trauma that's going on right now, I think every school system should have a therapist in their school system. Like, seriously, if they can afford. I mean, because kids going through enough right now.
If they can afford it.
Yeah.
I work with kids. I work in the school system. They can afford it.
Yeah. Every school should have a therapist. Yeah. A kid should go to a therapist at least twice a week.
But the counselor doesn't do anything. I went to a counselor
in
the school.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a therapist once a week.
Yeah.
And I think the attitude behind therapy and counseling is even changing now.
Right.
Because before it was like, oh, you crazy, something wrong. Now I'm the first one to tell you I got one.
I've seen 1,000.
And the main thing
for me is finding a good one. I can't find a good one.
And the main thing was wrong with society. You don't have people that listen. Just sit down and listen to you, and that's the main.
Well, we don't preach that. We don't teach people deep listening.
Yeah.
Active listening.
We also have like, I work with kids right now. I teach social media sensibility classes quietly. So the kids, I'm just practicing listening. They also talk about like call out culture and how a lot of them, like, they want to express a lot of things, but they can't because of social media, or like they're teaching me how, like, instead of us dragging everybody, you can't do that. Like, we need to have open forums on social media to like help people atone and understand what they're doing and have a real conversation instead of counseling and dragging people and just all those things.
Yeah. And those are the main things I think as far as kids and elevating kids. And as far as your growth, I always sees people growth as training. What you gonna do with training? You gonna break your body down. You gotta break your body down to let your body build bigger. What you gonna have to do as far as being successful? You gonna have to break yourself down in order to come up.
For me, like, and that's why I feel like all kids need to participate in something competitive. Because I think if you start breeding that when you're young, something about losing should piss you off. Like, you shouldn't be cool with just losing, because if you have that in middle school, some part of that is gonna follow you into adulthood, and it's like, I don't like losing in nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and so I had that same attitude in football, basketball, track, whatever. Brought it to college, brought it to Air Force, brought it to training, and now I'm in business. And so
I'm with that, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I put this on my Instagram. A lot of people didn't know why I put this quote on Instagram. I said, it's okay to quit sometimes, as long as it's temporary. Sometimes you have to quit to find yourself, to realize, damn, I should have did that. I should have worked harder more at that. And you see how other people are progressing in that. Sometimes you have to do that. People always tell you, oh, don't quit. Don't quit. You're human. Yeah. You're going to quit. sometime. But it's all right to quit. But long as it's temporary.
Yeah, I guess if you know what direction you're moving in,
yeah,
you can stop something.
Yeah, you can stop.
I mean, like I've left jobs because
exactly.
It's just checking the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, checking the ego. You know.
Like I know what table to sit down at and which ones I'm nah.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Exactly, man. So Weapon X, what people want to know, where do you get the name Weapon X from? Is there
the Weapon X is a protocol that Wolverine, Deadpool were created out of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see myself through that same light. Like my favorite hero is Bruce Banner. The Hulk.
Okay. Yeah.
But Weapon X was just kind of cool. Sounded badass. The handle was available. But I mean, also Deadpool and Wolverine are formidable.
They're probably one of the two most.
Yeah.
They can't be messed with. They can't die.
They can't die.
Yeah.
And so I try to live my life through that same lens. Like I'm a formidable force in the areas that are for me. And I think that when you identify those areas, that's all you need, because your people gonna find you and you win. Like there's no competition.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, like my favorite character as far as cartoon, Goku, because Goku used to get his ass kicked.
Goku.
I'm a Vegeta dude.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm Goku, because he always used to get his ass kicked, but he always come out on time after he gets his ass kicked, and that's how life is, man. You gonna get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But after that, you gotta keep on getting back up, man. Keep going, man. That's one thing you gotta keep walking, man. You gonna stumble, you gonna fall on your ass plenty of times.
Yeah.
As long as you keep progressing, you might not even go nowhere, but as long as you keep walking, you gonna keep going, man. You gonna get there somehow, some way.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
What do you think?
And the reason I say that is because spending time around the Jewish community, I realized, I don't know if you guys have heard about gematria.
What's that, birthright?
No, gematria is basically a correlation between letters. Numbers and letters have a direct correlation, and so when you speak certain words, you open portals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And things like that.
I never heard of it referred to like that, but I guess that might be what it is.
And so, when I hear people say very
low vibrating.
Mm-hmm. How you doing? Oh, I'm making it. Oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm just, another day, another dollar. When you say that, you gonna keep getting exactly that. So. You ask me, I'm fucking fantastic. I'm fired up, ready to go.
I know, always,
Great.
yeah.
And so
I even hear people at the job. They were like, "Man, you're always doing so well."
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
This job doesn't dictate my mood.
No.
How I am.
Frequency.
So yeah, that's really
high.
cool, man. I like that. Keep tell us more. Like, if there was more to that.
I don't know. I've just pivoted the way that I speak on. What was the question again?
Just keep going, you know what I'm saying? Just motivate yourself. You're going to fall down, you're going to bust in your ass, but what keeps that, you got to keep that drive going. And that's what a lot of people, fail to do. You know what I'm saying? Once they fall down, they feel like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah, no. You got to be relentless. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a fight before, a situation where you like, if I don't make it through this, that's it.
Yeah.
I've been in those situations. It's very uncomfortable. It's like, if you can take that back against the wall mentality and apply that to everyday life, you'll realize how easy it is to be successful, because so many people just fold. But and that's something I realized about basic training. Like, I hear people say, they hear me, "Hey, you was in the military? Ain't no way I could do that." Yes, you could. Yeah. If I made you do it, you could do it, and you would come out that much better for doing it.
Right.
And we have foreigners come over from Israel, right, where it's mandatory, female and male, to go over there and do 2 years, and you realize like you're a little different.
Yeah,
you're a little different because you were made to do it. And I think that you get the best out of people when they going through some hard shit that either they choose to do or that they're forced to go through. But it's like, it's not enough just to go through it. You got to go through it. Pick up the tools that you learn from it and be strategic in how you think and how you move after going through that hard shit. Some people go through this like, okay, my homeboy died from, partying. I had a homeboy die this past November, straight bullet. I'm like, damn, you just would have stayed home.
Yeah.
There's wisdom right there in that moment.
Yeah.
Not just the death. All these other people standing around you, but you were the one to get hit. Old teammate. It was wisdom. What are you going? I take from that, I'm not hanging with niggas where there's a potential. I need bodyguards checking bodies.
Yeah.
So
was that like a trigger for you when you saw your homeboy that? Did they like spark something?
Not at all, because I almost got shot in college. I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
Never again. So, no.
So did personal training kind of enforce you to transition to something else? I mean, what was the call you? Because you don't do personal training no more.
No.
So what caused you, far as personal training, to give up personal training to pursue your real estate and investing?
It's very simple. It's knowing what I want, when I wanted it, who I want with me when I, for what I want. For me, that's wealth. I want a lot of money because I realize a lot of money gives you access. Access gives you experiences. Experiences give you credibility, and everything comes with more money. You know? Yeah. Aside from the intangibles, obviously, but having more money ain't never hurt nobody and put a frown on their face.
Yeah.
So I realized the energy and time exchange was just not worth what I could be getting while building generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just being strategic in the thinking. Okay, so before I got out the Air Force, probably 6 months out, I said, okay, I figured out what I want to do. Because at that point, I had already been training 9 years. And I said, what do I want to do? I want personal training. I figured it out. I sought out. I said, where do I want to go? LA. Why? Because it was 3 hours from where my last base was.
Right.
This is the hub of all things fitness, health, whatever.
Right.
Okay, so I said, okay, well, what's the best place to work at? Because at this point, I'm not a businessman. I don't know anything about business.
Right.
So I said, what's the best place? Equinox. Why? You get your high-profile clients going through there. I can potentially network. Okay, so I said, okay, I go in, you get some profile clients, stack your bread, be smart with your money, curtail that into the next thing that will get you more money, more credibility, more access, more, just more,
Yeah.
So without worrying about, man, can I take this, week vacation, and my client's gonna leave me for somebody else?
Yeah.
That's stress.
Yeah.
And even if it's not high stress, that low level stress keeps your mind from being fluid and having peace at night.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want nobody dictating my peace other than me. Like, I need control. I'm a control guy.
Did your clients were supportive of you when you told them, hey, I'm not be able to train y'all anymore? Was they supportive of you, or how did you break it to them? Like,
well,
'cause I know some clients, like a trainer is sort of like a barber. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They therapists.
Yes.
They're gonna teach you the tricks
it's an
of the trade.
experience.
Yeah, the tricks in the trade.
And you condition people. Like, this is, I see you every day, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
This is their thing. So, for me, there were some situations that actually worked out to transition me out of it very naturally. So it was perfect. Talk about that off the air. But no, I mean, I had my clients who were understanding, and I had my clients who they didn't like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and this is one thing I really, really, really been harping to a lot of people is that you get one fucking life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one life. Like after this shit is done,
that's it.
That's it. So you have to do what makes you happy. You got to get what you want right fucking now, now, today.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you don't, you're always gonna be living under the hedge of what somebody else wants you to do, and you'll be 67 years old thinking, damn, I was fine when I was 25, and I didn't use that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. A bunch of regrets.
Bunch of regrets, and probably not a lot of money because that fear kept you from making more money.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying that from the place I'm in now. Like I'm still conquering fears because I realize that's holding me back from making more.
Yeah.
So
and all that, man. And like I said, you had to make a lot of hard decisions, and like far as personal training, you heard your story about personal trainers and this and that, far as trainers stealing clients and all that, man. How do you feel about that, man? Like far as trainers stealing clients or trainers fucking in clients, I mean,
LA, there's 15 million people. Steal them if you want. I can go get you're replaceable. and it's crazy how so many things in the business world are so congruent with other stuff.
Yeah.
Like sales is dating. I say that same thing with a woman. if you don't want meat, you're a fool. You're a fool. And I say that because I realize you're replaceable. What one client, when there was a point in time where I had to raise my prices, and when I had to have that uncomfortable conversation, I've been loyal, this, that.
Yeah.
I said, and I didn't have any black clients. It was white and Persian people. I had no black clients. I had maybe 3 black clients total, and they were for a very short period of time. So this was coming from Jewish people, Persians, white people on the west side who were trying to negotiate deals. No. This is the line. This is the standard. This is the bar. You can get with it or you can get on. Because this is direction I'm headed. Like, this is my life. This is what I have to do. This is what I want to do. So you support it or not. And I think a lot of people get scared of that when elevating. It's like, when you breaking through that glass ceiling, you have to be ready to shed some skin. Like, you got to be ready to lose some people. Cause
you got to pull up the weeds.
You got to pull the weeds. And, you have to take that risk,
Yeah.
But with that risk, you also you got to keep in mind keep the main thing. Because I said, all right, look, I'm doing the training now, but I see where the real prize is at, and that's in the real estate.
Right.
And from that money, I can get into stock, I can get into crypto, I can get into venture capital, I can get wherever that's gonna go. I can be there to get into it. And so
I'm with it, man.
Yeah.
Was you scared at first when you first started? Like, you bought your first unit, like, damn, I'm thinking about this, but how I'm gonna do it?
As far as what?
As far as getting into real estate.
No, there was no fear at all.
There was no fear.
No, and the reason there was no fear was because I was able to leverage military benefits.
Okay.
Mainly VA, and so that's what helped me get my foot in the door to get started. And so, I fronted maybe $50K all out of my own pocket, just that, which is nothing compared to, when you look at real estate prices here in LA, that's nothing to get in the door when most people are having to put down 3.5 to 5 to. If you use an FHA, 3.5 to 5%, or you doing conventional, you got to put down at least 20%.
Right.
So on a $700,000 house, you paying $140,000. Yeah. Most people don't have that cash sitting around.
Right.
So no, there was no fear for me because I leveraged that.
Okay.
And so to all the veterans that are listening, and you're active duty, start buying multifamily property now, especially if you're young. So important. So important.
And I've been wondering about a lot of veterans. It's so, like, some veterans you see out on the street, you see homeless. Like, how did this come to that point?
Yeah.
Like, far as veterans, you know what I'm saying? They got all this access, all this opportunity in front of them, but they don't take advantage of it.
A lot of those guys, that's Korea, Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And so, literally, back during those times, a lot of stuff was pen to paper. Now everything is electronic.
Yeah.
So, like, my dad, he was in Vietnam, did a few years in the Army, infantry, Big Red 1, infamous infantry unit that everybody knows about. His actual medical paperwork and stuff got burned up. And so, to this day, at 65 years old or so, he cannot leverage many of the entitlements that I have to me because of simple stuff like that. And so, to the young listeners that are still active duty and things like that, I'm like, yo, holla at me because I can help you, before you get out. Just hit me up.
Man, dude, you definitely got a major story ripping next, man. And I hear you gonna bring it out, but I don't know what. I told you, let me know as far as your book.
Yeah. Oof.
What's the process of your book now?
Man, I've been procrastinating, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Have you thought of a name for it?
I have a few names written down, about 50 pages in, but more than likely to just be a short read, mostly pertaining to the purpose, because the purpose is the most important part. Purpose gives you confidence.
Purpose gives you clarity.
Purpose gives you clarity.
Yeah.
Like,
when was that moment where everything got that clear for you?
Yeah.
For me, it started when I was little, and it's not that the path was just illuminated clear. Like, I knew I was gonna go to this college, I was gonna be in the Air Force. No, it's just I knew I wanted to be wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that. Period. And this is coming from a middle class down south family. So it's like, okay, I look at that situation how I grew up. I'm like, all right, well, if this is what we get, you know, middle class, seem pretty good. What's beyond this?
Yeah.
And I mean, even dating is like, okay, well, I know I want a wife. She got to be bad.
Yeah.
So in order to get
what
the
you want,
cream
bro.
of the crop, I have to be the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
And so
right.
that again goes back to that primordial side where my balls are telling my brain, if you want that, you need to go get more of that.
Yeah.
To get the best of that.
Yeah.
So it everything comes down to the purpose, because when you understand what you can do and it solidifies your confidence, you get confidence in your work. You get confidence when you're talking to people because they know what to come to you for. You get confidence when you're dating.
Yeah.
Because you know the value you bring to the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people can feel that energy, and they will pay you for that energy.
Exactly.
So it's important.
Yeah, and everything, man. So, Weaponess, man, I appreciate you having you on the show, dude, man. We had a deep conversation today, man. A totally deep conversation, man. But we
expected to go that direction, but we had to do it.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think a lot of people gonna benefit off this episode.
Oh my God, when we break this one up, it's gonna be great.
Exactly. But I always ask every guest that comes on here, man, if you had one famous person, you can, it don't have to be famous, one person you could work out with, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dr. Miles Monroe.
Ooh. Nobody gonna say, dude, Miles Monroe? We just got about
Dr. Miles Monroe.
I listened to him, like, I'm telling you, I've listened to him for like 5 years.
Yes.
When I say his name, nobody knows who Miles Monroe is.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I had to tell you.
He's no longer here, but he
passed away in a plane crash.
2014.
Oh, please tell him the story, bro. Oh, I love Miles Monroe.
So basically, Miles Monroe was a Bohemian pastor. Grew up in the poorest of the poor of the poor of the poor of the poor in in the Bahamas.
Okay.
Literally roaches crawling on him as a kid.
Yeah, had no ceiling.
No ceiling. Water dripping on him, mosquitoes biting him, and this guy.
He's incredible.
Oh my God, man.
The 7 Principles of Leadership is all you got. Like, just look up the 7 Principles of Leadership, and there is.
That's his book.
No,
he's got a whole bunch of books.
He bought a bunch of books, but that's the most. That's what put me on a path at like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking up leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a leader now.
He doubted it. He's the modern day King Solomon. And we all know King Solomon is the wisest man to ever live.
There's nothing you can't pull from him that is not golden.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that dude is golden. Go ahead, man.
Man.
I'm just we caught a vibe, bro. When you said Miles Monroe, dude, like I was like, man.
He was, bro. When I was in the band, it was me and Vader. It was me, Vader, and Miles Monroe.
Every morning I used to listen to him driving to work since I moved here. I lived for like 2 straight years. I would listen to his like he has so many like.
Yes.
There's no Zig Ziglar or nothing. Like fuck them.
Right.
If you just want to know about life, life.
Just life in
even though
general.
he's a pastor, bro, like it don't even have to be on no Jesus or anything.
Yeah.
There's non-faith affiliated global organizations that would hire this man to come in and speak about leadership, relationships, finances.
He kept it 100.
Business.
It's beyond.
Dude.
It's incredible. Yeah. I'm sorry, we're big
them
fanboys.
type of-
Clearly, I'm a fanboy. That's like LeBron James, Miles Monroe. Like, honestly, I don't even speak on him too much because I'm tired of people telling me like, who is that? You know.
Just type in YouTube. Your life is gonna change.
In relationships, the shit that he drops like knowledge, like left and right. He's just like shit. I had to stop his videos and write notes.
There's literally no one I would pay to buy time off. I would pay to meet him.
And when I read that he died, I was like, damn.
Yes.
Because I was like, when can I see this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like right after.
How to focus on and master your vision. Wow.
Like there's a lot. I think the leadership one is the best one. His analogy about eagles and lions is one of my favorite ones.
Yes.
Like nobody, like if there's an eagle, he goes to a certain level, And if he sees another bird, he knows it's an eagle because only eagles can fly at that.
Yeah, ain't no crows.
Yeah.
Ain't no ostrich.
Altitude
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
attitude, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He says, how does the lion know that the elephant is lunch?
It's a mentality.
The elephant sees a lion, he says, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
But the lion
This
sees
thing
the
can
elephant,
eat
he
me.
says, "No cigar."
Yeah.
And that's the same mentality I carry in my everyday.
You ain't gotta be the fastest. You ain't gotta be the smartest. You ain't gotta be the biggest.
Just know what you can do.
You don't know what you can do and be good at it. That's basically the purpose. And that's what every kid should learn. You know what I'm saying? What are you good at? And focus on that and pursue that.
Yeah.
And you can make money off of it. Kids make money off anything right now. If you like toys, shoot, you can make money off toys. Yeah. Video games, you make money off video games. It's all about what you are good at and focus on that. And pursuing it. Right. All right, my guys, man. Man, that's another episode of Locker Room Talk, man. My Weapon X, shout out your IG and everything, man.
_ Weapon X.
Yes, sir. And my girl over here, shout out your IG, man. Empress.
The Empress.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah. Come on now, you was on the mic. Come on now, you know how you do. And this big preason, man, y'all follow us on IG at Locker Room Podcast, man. Just another episode of Locker Room Talk, man. And that's it, man.
No, I get these names. None of that.
Yeah, that's me right there. Second one.